Scott, how are you? Hey, Bruce, how are you? Chris, how's it going, man? Matt, how are you, brother? So, what I wanted to go through with you today was how do you get your team on the same page, rowing in the same direction, and how do you make those tough or necessary decisions simple? And they'll never be easy, but they become more commonplace as your business grows. Because as your business grows, more pressure comes on your team and your systems, or your lack thereof. So all a business is a collection of systems. We hire and train the people to run those systems. Our team follow those systems. The systems take care of the clients, and the clients come back to us. The clients take care of the business by splitting off both time and money. And that's how the business looks after us. So what I want to talk to you today was, how do you get your team on the same page, pulling in the right direction? What does that same page look like? And then secondly, how do you make those tough decisions faster and without having to agonize over them for weeks or months and procrastinate, maybe on laying off that person that you know that is not pulling their weight, or hiring that person, or upgrading that website, or doing anything significant in your business which is going to make a big difference, right? So let's crack into it. So values is one of the guiding principles of your business. And basically, your values are the North Star, or the guiding light on how we do business around here. And if you think, it's basically your inner compass, inner moral guiding compass, both physically, logistically, where is the company heading? How's it going to get there? And how's it going to get there is by following the principles and the values that you hold dear. And your business is just a reflection and an extension of yourself. So the easiest way to be in alignment is to have a business that typifies what you see as important. So if you don't have any values, how on earth are you making decisions each day? If you have values and you have them and everyone agrees on them, everyone's going in the same direction, it's much easier to make decisions and to take action quickly, because people don't have to refer to you to make a decision. They can go, well, great, is that world class? Is that going to help our speed of execution? Is that PSR, problem solution recommendation? What am I doing to live those values each day? So I'm going to give you some tools on how you can A, use this to make decisions, B, use it to get your team's muscles stronger and faster, and build a business that works for you rather than you being the whole tipping point of the business, the inflection point, and basically the restrictor in the whole business. So this is how to get people to step up, get them to take action in the right way, and have them on the bus or get them off the bus if they're not. I've got good news. My mentor, one of our mentors, we've got 3 mentors at the moment. So we're in a marketing mastermind in the States. We're in a sales mastermind in the States. And I've also got funny enough, all these 3 guys are in different companies are in California. And I've also got a mindset and physical mentor called Wes Watson. And you might have seen him on YouTube. He was the guy that was in prison for 10 years. I managed to wangle him to come and talk to us. So he's going to be talking at the summit on Friday morning at 10 a.m. And he's going to be covering off success principles and how your limiting beliefs are holding you back from achieving the success that you want, both personally and in business, and what you can do to eradicate those beliefs, take massive action, move the stumbling blocks that might be in your way that are up here, to take massive action. And it's had a massive impact on me over the last 6 months, which is why I twisted his arm. Right, so very happy that we've got him as one of our guest speakers for the summit, Thursday the 2nd and Friday the 3rd of April. So 4 weeks to go, or 3 weeks and 4 days. So yeah, so if you've got a question for Wes, we're going to send out some videos of his over the next couple of weeks. We'll send out the principles that he operates by, and the ones that have also allowed me to double my productivity, which I'm going to share with you at the summit as well, 27 tips to improve your productivity, how to get in alignment with yourself, increase your focus, and just achieve your goals way faster. So it's a massive coup to get him to come and speak for us, to us. So looking forward to that for you guys. You're going to get massive value. Why is having your values front and center of your business going to make things easier? Well, it makes decision making easier because you can very quickly have decision heuristics, or basically a shortcut to make decision. So when X happens, we do Y. So a diet one's very simple. So when I eat too many carbs, I look at my MyFitnessPal and I decide, right, if I have an ice cream that day, then that's something I don't eat any more carbs for the day. If we lose a particular contract, we start marketing the next day to fill up our pipeline to get a bunch more contracts if we're not booked out 6 to 12 months in advance. So heuristics are there. So just like laying out your clothes the night before, you want to reduce the number of decisions that you have to make during the day and get all those off your plate, because you only have so much mental capacity. So that's why Steve Jobs and a bunch of other guys, successful entrepreneurs, will wear the same stuff each and every day. They'll wear a black t-shirt, a black blue jeans, etc. So the less cognitive horsepower you have to engage each and every day, the better. So if you can reserve that for making the big decisions, 10 times better. And the simple way to do that is to have systems for your team to follow and an operating system installed into your business for how your team go about making their decisions within that process. So, how do you go about doing this? Yes, I am talking about the company's values, 100%, and then the operating system within that. So, how do you go about coming up with your values, and hey Tony, how are you, brother? How do you go about coming up with your company's values, and more importantly, installing them into your company so that they're not just a thing on the wall that sits there and no one has any idea what they are, how they impact the business, or how to apply them each and every day. Because they're meant to be a living, breathing document that the team uses every day. And I'm going to give you some quick bullet points that you guys can use to do this. So the first key thing, list out all the points that are important to you. So it might be world class, or that you aspire to be. World class, fitness is a big one for us. PSR, problem, solution, recommendation. Speed of execution. Systems run the business. Speak your mind, but don't be a dick. So what you want to do, you want to individually list out what are all your important values. Then have a sit down with the team and get your team in, and we're going to get the team to help come up with these as well. So list all the values together on the board. You're going to get a big list. You might get anywhere from 10 to 20 different values/principles. And then with that, what we're going to do is we're going to group them together. So there'll be ones like world class, do your best, follow a proven system, etc. that are all similar. So we want to group those together. And then what we do is define them. So world class means follow best in class, follow a proven template and system, use numbers to quantify how something is going so that you know where it's breaking down and where you can improve it. And when you define them, someone might have for example, Owen might have a completely different interpretation of what my interpretation of world class is. So world class to me means that you follow best practice, you have something that stands head and shoulders above the rest, and that it is a guiding light for others to follow. So with that, everyone gets clarity on it. These principles should really be the key things that are going to help drive the business forward. So we have 12 core principles. Where are you going to, once you've come up with your key values, where are you going to put it? In your office? So we have a massive one up on our wall that you'll see as soon as you walk into our office. We then have other things that personify that. So we've got big pictures of or painting of Muhammad Ali, so world class, best in class. Porsche, which is obviously one of my passions. What else? Ducati, world champions. And we've got other things that personify world class. So you can then very easily see, when you're looking at making a decision, you can go, is our office world class? And our offices 18 months ago were shit. So we decided to upgrade our environment. And when you upgrade your environment, you upgrade your thinking, you upgrade, there's way more light. It's a place that you want to come each day. And when you walk into your office, do you feel sapped? Like, oh shit, here I am, oh great, in this dark and dingy place. Or do you feel zapped? So when you walk into our office now, we have an epic foyer. We're on the penthouse top floor in Newmarket in Auckland, in a great suburb. And as you walk in, Sky TV's on the other half of the floor, and we're on we've got half of the other half of the floor on the other side of the building. Very light and airy. And as you come into the foyer, we Googled, like, what does a world-class foyer look like? So then a world-class foyer, hey John, how are you, brother? A world-class foyer would have epic murals. It would have, in my opinion, a fish tank. So we got a fish tank. It would have, show the passions of the entrepreneur. So up in ours, it has a list of our values, has some Muhammad Ali painting. It would also have a cappuccino machine. So we've got a cappuccino machine just around the corner. It would also have a table, and in that table, obviously, magazines that are my passion. So that's like Metal Hammer for 1980s music, Porsche magazine, Ducati magazine, and Evo car magazine. So reflects, again, the extension of me, my values, into the business. So if you can live in alignment with your personal values and your business values, life will go 100 times easier. And when you come from a place of abundance, it's much easier to make those tough decisions. There's a saying, people don't have business problems, they have life problems that transfer over into their business. So if you can't stick to a diet, if you procrastinate on doing the important things, if you don't structure your day and have a default diary and you get pulled in 101 different directions and didn't do the core thing that was going to drive your business forward, if you don't want to get up an hour earlier, if you don't set a bedtime alarm, then guess what? You're not going to reach your potential. You're going to have challenges. So by having your values and then living them and integrating them into your day-to-day calendar and into your team is going to make life and decision-making a truckload better. So where else are you going to put your values? Your office, the website, in your information pack, so when you send it out, so prospects see it. In your quotes, into action plans, so have a page in there. It's another sales document. And lastly, in your induction pack for your new members. And also, how do you ingrain this into your team? Well, it needs to be from step one. Hiring. So when you're hiring, we actually have our values on our website so people can go and see it. We then have in the interview, we ask people to list out their top 5 values that they live by. In the interviews, we give them our value sheet and we ask them to rank them. Which of these are most important to you? Because the number one thing is we want to see, is this person a good culture fit? And culture is basically, how do we do things around here? How do we think and how do we act? And is this person in alignment? So if they're a good culture fit, so there's a great saying, culture eats strategy for breakfast. So you can have the greatest strategy, but if you've got people who aren't on the same mission, aren't on the same vision, aren't on the same page, are not engaged, won't work like a man possessed and also be rewarded for it, then it's not going to work, because you can teach them the skills, but you can't teach them the attitude and the culture fit. So you've got to give them every opportunity to get up to speed, and by living the values. And how do we do that? Well, every 90 days, we have our assessment tools. So every 90 days, we review our team and we assess how do they go on their projects, and then we rank them on the values. So let's say world class, how did you go? And might rank someone 7 out of 10. You can also rank yourself. So world class, we might have been a 5 out of 10. If I then ranked me as the founder on world class, how we go, we're now probably up to a 7.5 out of 10. So say, okay, cool. How do we get to an 8.5 out of 10? You can then assess yourself across product, results. So are you getting hockey stick results that a venture capitalist would be interested in working or investing in your business? How well is your team growing? Is everyone on the same page? How well are you systemized? What are your financials like? So you can very easily rate yourself on how well are you going world-class wise. So then we've got, in the 90-day reviews, we're going to rank them. So we actually have a ranking system, and the team member puts in, well, on PSR, I think I'm a 7, and I'll rank them anywhere from 1 to 10 on how good they go. And then we'll talk about it and what they can do to improve. We then save that. We give them some action points to go away and work on over the next 90 days. And then they know, great, to bring their PSR up from a 6 to an 8 before they go to someone with a problem. Say, hey, Marty, how do I do this? Or Cam, how do I do this? They have to go, great, here's the problem. Our cappuccino machine will break down if we have 30 people in the office making cappuccinos all day when we do the summit. Problem. Solutions. We could get a cappuccino making coffee place to come on site for $1,000, $500 a day, and make coffees for everyone. We could get everyone's coffees in advance, send out to the coffee place, and book them in advance and have a list, and at $5 a head, 25 people, or $4 for a coffee. There's $100 times 2 coffees a day. There's $200. There's $400 for a solution. Or we could all go off site and grab a coffee and come back. So then you can go, these are A, B, C. I think we should do C because it'll save time, it'll save money, yada, yada. Or I think should do B because it'll be a better experience for our members. So very quickly, PSR, problem, solution, recommendation. If you can install that as one of your values and operating systems for your team before they come to you with anything, it will set you free. So discipline will set you free, structure will set you free, and PSR. Get your team to start solving problems for themselves. It'll be a game changer. Right, does anyone have any questions? I've got a couple of other tips on this. So PSR will set you free. Now, how do we install this each day into our team? Well, we pick one value for the month. We've actually got 12 values. We're going to cut them down to 6 because not everyone can remember them all. We're going to cut them down to 6 and we're going to integrate some of them into each other. So some will be left on their own. We might amalgamate 3 into 1, but not everyone can remember them all, and even I can't remember them all. So we're going to cut down 12 down to 6 and use that for their team to be empowered to make decisions. So they don't have to come to me, they don't have to go to anyone else, they can make the decision with confidence. So we explain what world class is, and I'll do a 5-minute training on this at our management meeting each week. So world class, what's an example of this? And we'll get an example. So world class might be Israel Adesanya defending his belt yesterday in the UFC. So what did he do was world class? Well, he went against popular opinion. He did what was right strategy-wise to win a fight against a great wrestler using his striking at long distance and not engage in a wrestling match, which led to a really boring fight, but led to the right outcome for him and his team of retaining the title. Would a new employee booklet with this kind of thing be good? 100%, dude. Yep. So an induction manual, new employee book, and your operations manual, this should be here. This should be everywhere. This should be a big page that goes in your info pack when your prospects see it. So then they can say, wow, if that's how committed they are to improving themselves and how they operate, imagine how they'll be with looking after the biggest investment of our lives, our renovation or our new build. So we'll do a training on that once a week for 5 minutes. Each day in our stand-up, our team has to go, how did you embody the value today? So we'll choose, let's say we chose PSR for the month of March. And then at the end of the day, what did you do to embody PSR today? Well, for example, with the coffee one, here's what we did. We had the cappuccino machine. It's a simple one, but instead of it now being me, the owner, having 176 things to think about, over 175. If you take 10 of your team, they each came with you 3 things a day, there's 30 less decisions that you have to make, times by 6 days in the week. There's 180 less decisions that you need to make during the week. It'll massively free up your headspace. So let's say your PSR muscle for your whole company was at a 6, and people were coming to you each day with, Bob, how do I do this? John, how do I do this? Chris, how do I do this? Tony, how do I do this? Yada, yada, yada. And you gave them training once a week for 5 minutes on PSR. And that was one of your values. So PSR means problem. You come with the problem defined. Cappuccino machine is going to die if we do it for 25 people. 2, you put in place, you work through what are the different solutions. And 3, you say what your recommendation is and why. Now, as soon as the people start doing this and doing this on a regular basis to you, it would then become apparent that they have good decision-making criteria. They can work through a problem logically and solve it. And you'll know very quickly within 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, you don't need to babysit this person anywhere near as much, if at all, anymore. And then, if your PSR muscle was a 6 and you've got shitloads of people coming to you each day, each week, how do I do this? What about this? What should I do here? It's going to go 6.5 week 1, 6.7 week 2, 7 week 3, and a 7.5 or an 8 after 4 weeks and 30 days of everyone focused on PSR. So in our stand-up at the end of the day, we say, how did you embody the chosen value this month? So is it world class or PSR in this example? And people then say, great, here's what I did. Absolute game changer. And this is how you build this into your company's DNA to make decision-making easier, to give people confidence to take action, and to follow the systems and be good decision makers in the best interests of the company without having to come to you night and day. How do I do this? What about this? And also make sure people are on the right page. So if you had, in our case, we've got 12 values, going to be 6, and you're at 6, you raise that speed of execution from a 6 to a 7.5 or an 8 over 30 days, you're going to be executing a lot better, a lot quicker. If you then PSR is at a 5, and lots of people rely on you, and you can raise that to a 7, it's going to massively increase the muscle or the PSR muscle over the next 30 days and for the rest of the year. All right, what's the number one thing that you've got out of today that you're going to apply into your business to make it faster, win bigger, win more often, and kick some ass and take some names? What's the one thing that you've got the most value from today? Matt, creating structure for your week. Awesome, brother. Bruce, work with employees on PSR. Yeah, man, it'll be a game changer. Guarantee it. Chris, we'll review a list of values and create an operations manual. Yeah, awesome, brother. And see what you can do to distill your values down so everyone knows it, and rather than it just being a thing on the wall. I think one of the challenges with ours is that we've got 12 values. By us distilling this down to 6, everyone's going to be able to quote them. Everyone's going to be able to know, here's how I use it in my decision making. And it's just going to make the business stronger and less reliant upon me or any of the other team to solve things, because their decision making muscles and their confidence will go up and speed of execution will go up a truckload, because there won't be all these constriction points within the business for decision making. Hey, John, how are you, brother? Going to rewatch later, mate. I'll say join. Awesome. Yeah, Nia's coming along well. Thanks, John. Jesse, how are you, brother? Concentrating on one value each month, it would really hammer it home. Yeah, it's such a game changer to have a little training, like just a couple of minutes. Great. Who's got an idea on PSR? What does it mean? Or world class, or speed of execution. Or it could be safety might be one of your values. And then you give tips on safety. And then each day in your stand-up, for 1 minute, you go, great. How did you embody the value of safety today? Well, I made sure before anyone came on site, they signed the hazard register. Or I made sure that we went around and picked up all the nails at 4:45 before going home. So very quickly, you get a whole bunch of ingrained habits, and you'll very quickly see who is on the bus and who is just a passenger who needs to be, freed up if they don't improve themselves. George, set company values and display in the office. 100%, mate. It'll make a massive difference. Mickey, need to get a cappuccino machine. I love it. It'll be a game changer. All right, team. Scott, I have 13 company values. So what you're saying is reduce the number down so everyone can remember them. Yeah, what I found, Scott, is we've got 12. I'll post it into the group right now. I can't remember them all. And if I can't remember them all, then we're not living, eating, sleeping, breathing it. So I think it's better to have 6. You can then have them defined. And then it might be that once a month we rotate. So after 6 months and we've gone up to an 8 in PSR, we get to month 7, we do PSR again from since January. All right, that's it, team. I hope you have an awesome day. Go forth and prosper and live in alignment with your personal values and your company values. Cheers, guys.